Oh, hi, folks. Thanks for coming out to the BEA luncheon. My name is Patton Oswalt. You may have seen me on basic cable. I'm not used to being in front of a literate audience. This is kind of new for me. I'll be at Cranberries in West Virginia next week, featuring. Come on out. 6 Rolling Rocks for $6. I have a book coming out next year that my publisher told me that I should talk about. Although it's a little awkward to actually. Look at Hitch getting all the photogs. Look at that, soaking up the fame. Such a rock star. I have a book coming out next year. I feel a little weird talking about it. It's still an ephemeral thing in my head, but it's basically a collection of wow, one lady is taking my picture. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Nice. With a disposable camera. Okay, so look at the big 35 millimeter lenses. Yeah, give me a little. Oh, don't get me under the chin though. I look all bloated and creepy. Oh, like wow, why did Admiral Akbar speak at the luncheon? That was weird. Good, 3 nerds in the crowd. Basically. I don't really know where to start. I've been such a bookworm my whole life, and this is sort of my first book that's coming out. And I'm sure you guys have been through this process and are kind of old hands at it, but it is sort of a big deal for me, and I don't really know sort of what's going to happen with it, I guess. I think the weirdest part about writing the book is, as a comedian, if I come up with an idea, I usually just go on stage and just kind of blurt it out, and I get immediate response. And in writing a book, as I write each sentence, I almost want to send it out to 300 random people to see if each sentence works, which I know is a terrible way to kind of write. So I'm sort of getting used to that process, which, again, I'm sure that these guys have been through and know all about. And also, I've become a dad. Which is very strange because I want my daughter to grow up very intelligent, but now I don't know how intelligent I want her to be. And I'll just, what I'm saying is my brother-in-law babysits for 2 kids in Chicago, and they're basically the prodigies. The parents are geniuses. The dad is a physicist, and the mom is some other kind of scientist, and the kids are 2 years old, and they speak languages, and they do advanced math, and they play instruments, and they're just prodigies. And at one point, my brother-in-law, but they're still in diapers. That's what's so weird. They wear diapers, but they're reading French. So one of the kids at one point had an accident in their diapers, basically, and my brother-in-law went, "Oh, do I gotta change your diapers?" And this 2-year-old said, "Diaper, singular," which. Again, that's the confidence of a serial killer. Like if you're defecating in your pants and then correcting people on their grammar, that's just eerie on a level that I'm just not used to at this point. So, and now of course I'm on Twitter, which I just love how we've basically gone from MySpace. Which was this great thing for kids, and then all the adults piled onto MySpace, and all the kids went, "Ooh, there's these creepy old people here," and they ran over to Facebook, and then all of us jumped onto Facebook, and they went, "Ugh," and then they kind of went over to Twitter, which is just Facebook boiled down to 140 letters. That's all it is how boiled down can you possibly make it? And then I also have a YouTube channel, which I've realized now. YouTube is basically the beginning of American society being Rome burning to the ground. Because all YouTube makes us is a bunch of bored Roman emperors every day. And we basically wake up and say, what do I feel like amusing myself with this morning? Would I like to see a panda poop or perhaps a redneck be hitting the scrotum? I wonder, bring me a panda pooping, please. That's all YouTube basically is just people being hurt for our pleasure while we sit in our pajamas and sip lattes. Any questions? No? We're good? Nothing to kind of ask me about? Huh? Oh, what's the book going to be about? It's basically a... Wow, thank you. It's Sex in the City, but for just sort of fat shut-ins. No. No, that would be... Wow, that was... Please tell me that was mocking applause. All right. It's called Zombie Spaceship Wasteland, and it's a kind of autobiography about my life done through kind of humorous essays. And the whole basic central idea is, and if there's any writers in the room out there in the audience, you know that especially for the nerd portion of the population, part of growing up and becoming a writer is you either write a book about zombies, a book about spaceships, or a book about wastelands. Because when you're 13, 14 years old, you don't know how the world works. So in order to write about it, you have to somehow either destroy it or leave it. So you either go, oh, there'll be a zombie apocalypse, or it's a weird futuristic wasteland, or I've just left the planet and I'm killing mutants with a ray gun because I'm frightened of girls. I don't quite know how the social networks work, so I'm going to destroy them before I write about them. So that's... Folks, the book's a lot better than the way I just described it, by the way. There's there's really awesome stuff in it, I'm telling you. God, is this the way you sell a book? Just kind of go up in front of people and, really? I wrote this book and it's awesome. You should totally check it out. All right, here's Stephen King. Right, I'm going to end on a bit that made its way into the Columbian valedictorian's speech this past weekend. Yes, thank you, Columbia graduates. When I was in college, I went to a very liberal arts college, and it was the kind of college that they were very proud about the fact that, you know, we create well-rounded students. Our science majors take English classes, and our English majors take science classes. And I was an English major, and I had to take a science class. And basically, and to this day, my knowledge of science goes no further than salt is salty. There you go. So, but they had a class in my college, and I'm not making this up. I went to the College of William and Mary, and in my junior year, they had a class called Physics for Poets. So basically, it was like, hey there, English major weenie, do you want to learn about the music of the spheres without any scary numbers? Well, put on some pantaloons and a scarf and skip on down through a field of gillyflowers to the physics department, where we'll teach you about science without using any of those frightening equations that make you scurry under your bed and shiver under the coverlet. And you could ask questions like, is the red planet Mercury like the crimson eye of Cerberus? Like, yes, whatever. Just sit down, puffy shirt. We'll just get you through this. So the guy that taught the class was the head of the physics department and was clearly doing it as a favor to the college. They just go, please just get these English majors through one science class so they can graduate. And he taught the class just soaked in resentment. Like his hatred for us, you could have drizzled it over waffles. It was so thick and rich. He just hated us. But for the final exam, I guess he just figured, I've been so mean this whole semester, I'm going to try to reach out to these wood nymphs and be a nice guy. So he gave us, the final exam were 5 word problems, and he really sprinkled some English prose over them and tried to make them user-friendly. And one of the questions was, Captain Kirk is sitting on the bridge of the USS Enterprise. If a Klingon ship is approaching at this speed and the Enterprise is going this fast, it was a distance and velocity problem in space. And the question ended with, if Captain Kirk tells Chekhov to fire the phasers and the phasers go this fast. So that's the whole problem. So I'm sitting in the back of the auditorium, and this is how my friend tells it, because he was sitting next to me, and he's like, you suddenly stood up, walked all the way down to the front of the auditorium, and you're now at the professor's desk, and you're saying something very specific and very angry and very pointed, and then you walked away, and the professor put his hands on his desk and just kind of heaved himself to his feet and just went, everybody, please, need your attention. Word problem number 5. I've just been informed that Sulu fires the phasers on the USS Enterprise, not Chekhov.